Oh, good evening, folks. We are back. Tonight we're going to play some Frostpunk. I've been waiting for this game for quite some time. I have started my own little game, but we're going to start a fresh one for the stream. I played for a couple of hours earlier, and yeah, I really like this. Really fun game. So I'm going to start a new one. I'm not sure what the sound levels and everything are going to be like. We haven't locked the scenario because I've played single player, but we're going to start a fresh one. Oh, I see. Only a couple of hours. Yeah, basically, Leppy. I bought it early, mate. So we're just going to start all default and do a playthrough. I haven't played masses of this game, so I don't fully know. I don't know what all the end game and stuff is, but from what I've seen so far, it's all about making your colony survive, and you know. Yeah, I will do want some in-game Leppy. I will turn all the sounds down and stuff. Wall drills are a good alternative to sawmills. They provide more wood, and their source of wood doesn't run out. There you go. So yeah, I've been quite excited to play this game for some time. It's literally come out today. There was a few people on YouTube and stuff that had early access.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped with pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity.
It's quite a nice idea. Literally ice and snow as a natural disaster.
We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step.
Exactly that was brilliant.
We knew the cost of our journey. And we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Oh. So yeah, the premise is basically there was a big freeze. A big freeze. Let me just tell about the game a second. There was a big freeze that obviously just covered all the towns, cities. People started to leave the cities, and they're setting up these remote outposts, and that's what we're going to do now. So we fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world... Sorry, whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world as we know it has crumbled. We have to survive. So, I'll sort my game sounds now. I know it's probably a bit loud. I've been playing single player, all immersed. I'm loving it. You've only watched a bit and never from the start. Oh, okay. Well, we will do a full playthrough. Why not? I've turned this down a little bit, so I'm not sure if it's just the starter intro that was a bit loud. You'll have to let me know as we go on. I'll turn it down a bit more, but I don't want it to be too quiet. I want you to be able to hear a bit of the music and stuff. I've seen bits of this, they look really good. Mooney Guru, good evening, how are you? I watched a tiny bit of Sips playing it when he was playing an early access build, but he got it a few days ago from what I saw. I think the Yogscast had like a deal with them, so they all got it a few days earlier. But I've not seen much of it, but I have played for a few hours, and it's really I like it a lot. It's this starting location of Mountain Crater. That's what it looks like, yeah. Amarths, good evening, bud. How are you? So I'll pause at the start and just show you. So this is our starting location. All right. It's basically a big hole with mountains and trees. Now, apparently these walls here, all this rocky outcrop around the sides, this is all actually frozen trees and forest and stuff. It isn't actually just rock. It's like ice and frozen stuff. So we can actually build machines that can harvest the walls and stuff later. But we have starter resources that we can get that are kicking around. So we've got like steel wreckage. I'll just zoom in a bit so you can see. We've got wooden crates that give us wood. And then we've also got coal scattered around in different places as well. So we've got coal piles. Here's our main generator. And this is basically what keeps us warm. At the moment it's inoperative. We need to fight the cold, get some coal. So we start off down here in the bottom right. We've got unemployed, and we've got 50 idle workers, 15 idle engineers, and 15 children that currently can't work. So I'm just going to slap a load of people on coal and get us going. And they make these little paths through the snow. You can see them up going off to get it. I'm going to want some wood as well. So we'll slap the maximum on there. And that should hopefully get us up and running. I might get some more going on this coal over here as well. Now, at the moment we've got 80 homeless people. These are our resources up here. So we've got coal, wood, steel and cores, steam cores. And then we've got raw food and food rations, like cooked food. So it's a massive hole in the glacier. Yeah, I think so. To provide protection. I think so, yeah, like protection from the elements. But later, like, we can mine this iron ore. It's built into the walls, and we can get, like, tree drills that, like, mine out wood from the walls and stuff. Or we can get sawmills that get these frozen trees. But the first thing we need to do is get some housing up. So we can build these basic tents for now. And I'm just going to slap a load of these down for now. And yeah, they'll build these little paths. They'll go to these piles, and you can see how much they're generating per pile. And we can actually do things like build little paths to the, like little roads to the piles of stuff as well. So I want to get more tents. I want my people to be housed ideally. And you also have to connect everything as well, so things need to be connected with like roads and stuff. Ideally. And there we go. Things are starting to get built now, which is nice. We also have laws. Now this is a major thing part of the game. This is like research in a way and morality choices. So we have to choose laws that we enforce. So we've got various different trees that we can head down. Now one of the first ones I think I'm going to do is to do with either food or putting our kids to work. One of the two. So we can choose different things. So like emergency shift here will give us a new ability that forces workers in any facility to work for the next 24 hours. However, using the emergency shift will raise discontent, and discontent will rise slightly. So it gives us like an ability in our buildings that we can use. 100 players here from the beginning. Good evening, buddy. Oh, you never make it at the start. Good to see you, mate. Is that like a karma balance? Exactly, DeSojo, yeah. Yeah, it's like you've got hope and you've got discontent, and you kind of need to keep them both in check. 100 players spray paints his face. How are you, mate? You alright? So yeah, there's different things that we can get. So one of the earlier things that we can get is child labour, because obviously we've got all these kids at the minute that ain't doing shit. So we've got two options. We can either put them to work, so children can work in safe workplaces, hope will fall slightly, and child workers can be injured in accidents. Or child shelters, which gives us a new building, child shelter. Hope will rise, providing all children with a place in a child shelter gives a permanent hope bonus, but you'll have to build a child shelter. We're putting them to work. I'm not fucking about. We're putting them to work. So what that means is we can essentially, these stockpiles that we've got kicking around, we could assign we could assign a load of children to go and get us some wood as well. Because why the hell not? Why wouldn't we? So let's put a few more of them down. Let's try and get all of our people homed for now. Now, you'll notice there's a little bar around here, like a little circle that's going round. That's like the cooldown on it. So we can't pass another law now for 15 hours nearly. Have we got enough coal? Oh, we have got enough coal. So now that we've got our coal, we can turn our generator on. The generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now, food. There'll be no city if we starve to death. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. Okay. So, food-wise, we're going to want a hunter's hut, but we need more wood, so I'll just let them run for a little bit. I built a lot of accommodation pretty quickly, so we've not got much wood at the minute. So it's night time now, and there are like working patterns as well. So I don't think they start working till like 8 o'clock or something like that. Illness and healthcare. So we have got the tutorial tips, but some of these I've already seen, obviously. You can't change that law later. I don't know, I'm out. I don't think so. Make them work. Dover Beast, good evening, bud. Throws up the V8 symbol. Just play. You're lagging a bit, that's because you're downloading Frostpunk. Fair enough, Leppy, fair enough. So yeah, a lot of this will explain what I've already told you about where our resources are and things like that. We can speed up and slow down time, just like normal, spaces, pause. I think number 2 and number 3 slow down and speed up the clock. This is just telling us about building streets and how to connect buildings. Basically, you can't place them unless they're connected to streets. Here's our main generator. Temperature, oh, I didn't mention the temperature bar. We do have a temperature bar at the top, which I'll show you in a second. And then illness. We have to build like medical centres and stuff, which we're not at yet. But yeah, we do have a thermal overview as well, which is very pretty, it has to be said. And we have like a scale up here. So comfortable, livable, chilly, cold, very cold, freezing. Okay. Our radius around here is pretty much at max now, so we can build to like this sort of level, I think, before it starts getting too cold to have buildings around here. Yeah, they're not ready to work yet, so we'll just skip the morning. This will explain it. So the day and night cycle, 12 AM till 6 AM is sleep time, and then they get free time from 6 till 8, and then work time from 8 till 6, and then free time again. But you can put additional shifts in if you want. You have to research them later. So this was the 24-hour emergency shift that we saw, and then there is also another one that you can get later, which is extended shift. So we might look at getting extended shift, because I don't really like the emergency one. We have got 2 people that are sick. Can't really do much about that at the minute. And I do want to start getting some food. So let's start getting some food in a minute. Might be able to squeeze in. Might just be able to squeeze in 2 hunters' huts and a cookhouse. That should give us plenty of food. Now everything needs to be manned, so obviously at the moment all of our workers are assigned to things. So what I'm going to do is take some of these workers out of here, put some engineers in there instead, because only workers can occupy these buildings at the moment. People from our convoy. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind, build a beacon, scout Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. We'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. So workshop is like our main research building as well. So first I won't play it immediately. First I'm going to see where life will fail so I don't repeat his mistakes. Thanks Lev. It's entertainment to see how life will fail. Son of a bitch. Rock Summit, good evening, bud. Desudro. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little bit overwhelmed by this game because I played it a bit earlier and really enjoyed it. In fact, I'm going to take all the works off here for now. We need some workers in here. So we'll start making some soup. Sorry, some normal food. So yeah, now these deposits that we get are only finite. They only last for a certain amount of time before they run out. So we basically need to get some basics set up, do a bit of research, pass a few laws, and only then can we start looking at like getting better tech and stuff. I don't really want that. I just want the extended shift, but I think we need to go for that anyway. So we've got options with food early on. So we can cook soup instead of full meals to feed more people with the same amount of raw food. However, hope will fall slightly, discontent will rise slightly, and eating soup will cause discontent. Or we could put sawdust in the food. We can add sawdust to meals to make them more filling, although not exactly tasty or healthy. Hope will fall slightly, discontent will rise slightly. Some people eating sawdust meals will fall ill. I quite like soup as an idea, but it does get them pissed off a little bit. The other thing we can do, so I need to close that. The other thing we can do is look more towards our healthcare. So we've got radical treatment, where we can save people but they end up as amputees, or sustain life, where we'll keep them alive just on a sick bed forever, but we won't amputate them. I think for now, let's go for soup, because soup is delicious, honestly, and it'll allow us to make our food go a bit further. So now, instead of doing standard meals, we'll make some soup. I think that's what we'll do. I'm going to turn this off, because we should have enough coal coming in. We still seem to have some homeless people, so let's put down a couple more tents. That'll do. And we'll do a little road from there to there. Nice. Beautiful. So we'll put some more people in there, get that going. These hunting shacks only work certain hours of the day, so we sort of need to make sure we're using them to the fullest. And we also need a medical post, which I think we'll slap down one there for now. Max, good evening, buddy. How's it going? The sound effects in the laws tree. Soup sounds good to start with. Can ditch it later. Well, you don't. Yeah, this thing, you can choose to not make soup as well. Like in your cook places, if you've got plenty of food, you can just move back to standard meals. So you don't really lose anything, but you can use it at the beginning. You know. So I think that's good. That's got to be a positive, hasn't it? Don't need to see all this. This is fine. There is another type of building that we can build shortly as well, which is a hothouse, which grows like grain and stuff. Let's see. Let's put 5 of these engineers in here. So we should be able to start treating some of our sick, all being well. Something has happened. A child has been injured at work. Do we give the kid a day off? The child won't work for 24 hours. Hope will rise slightly. Or do we scold this kid for being careless? Let's give him a day off. Let's give him a day off. Go home, you crazy fuck. Now then. Go home, you dangus. So, next thing we're going to need is a workshop, which will place, let's see, tents in here? Yeah, we can. I think we'll put the workshop over here. So that's a little road, isn't it? Slap the workshop in here. Now, some of the buildings are different sizes, by the way, which kind of trolls you a little bit. That just is what it is. I'm also going to put a gathering post down. Now, I can put these gathering posts down, and they'll sort of automatically collect resources in a certain area. So, for example, I could put one down like there, and then connect the road to it, and they will just go out of their way to sort of gather everything from here. So if we do something like that, my workers, I can just assign a workforce to this building, and they'll gather all of these things, which is wood and steel, all under one sort of workforce. And I can do the same over here as well. You can always just deconstruct the building later, which is fine.
End of shift. Go rest all who can.
Okay. It says we've got some people starving at the moment, but I don't really know why. Which difficulty are you playing on? Just standard, I think, Belizanio. I don't know if there is a difficulty setting as such. Right, we can do some research now. So, this is our like research building, our tech tree building. We've got two different things that we can look at. So we've got the tiers of research down here. So we can research like 1 to 5, and that unlocks different levels in each tree. So this is like a global research that will unlock all these different tiers, no matter which tree that you're looking at. Then we've got heating, explosion and industry, so that's to make a beacon, which we'll probably do in a minute. We've got resources, which is like faster gathering. These are where we get all our mills and quarries and stuff. And then we've got food, health and shelter. I'm probably going to do this one first, because we'll get some more better raw food from our hunters things. Oh yeah, we'll just skip through the night. Now, this building here has now been built. So, wood and steel. So, let's see. Got coal over here. Why are they going up here, I wonder? I don't have any workers assigned to this. I'm not sure why they're going up there. But I want to put some stuff on here ideally. So let's put some children over here, and they can work this pile of stuff. Our coal. Let's put some children and a few workers on. This keeps us supply of coal as well. It's a really pretty game. I do really like it. It looks really nice. Is this early access? It came out today, XP. It's finally been launched today. So you can buy it now on Steam or wherever. Good evening, by the way, folks. Sorry, I've not been reading the chat too well. Healthcare, really, that's not like you. Shut up, mate. This is different. This isn't honey. These guys aren't made of ooze. They're made of blood and bone. I'm going to save them all. Now, there was another thing that I should have pointed out. There's a thermometer up here, right? The thermometer warns you of like incoming temperature changes. So at the moment it's minus 20 degrees. Okay, soon we're going to drop significantly by 2 levels, like literally tomorrow, I think. And then we've got that for a couple of days. Then the heat will go up, and you sort of need to keep an eye on the thermometer as well, so that you can be ready for it. A mother has refused to let her daughter go to work, afraid she'll get injured. We could look the other way, but others might see it as unfair. We won't make an exception here. Get to work. Get to work.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
Okay. So it's now dropped drastically in temperature. So what we now need to do, there's a setting on our generator here that we can turn overdrive on. Alright? And that'll give us like a boost in temperature. So they'll keep things going. The only problem is it can only be run for so long. It uses more fuel as well, and it can cause problems. That's fine. Right, let's get another law in place. So... I think we'll go for this radical treatment. It does mean that we'll end up with like amputees and stuff, but later we can house them, so that's not too big of a problem.
A new law has passed.
It ends up with less sort of lame people that you can't do anything with in your workforce.
The work shift starts.
Cool. So we're now researching this hunter stuff, which is cool. I don't think there's much of the stuff that I can be building right now. I'd like to get a resource depot, but we need some more steel for that. Which hopefully should start getting us over here. Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team that we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. Okay, so we're going to need to get out there and scout pretty soon. Punisher, send the daughter to the whorehouse. What the fuck? It looks a bit laggy. Oh, am I dropping frames? Oh. I can turn the quality down a little bit, guys, if it's not being the best. Let's go down to a medium or something. Let's see if that's a bit better. Just do a quick save. Hello. Biddingtonsville town. Plaza. Perfect. Right, let me just restart the game then. It's a bit laggy. I'd rather it be smooth and not look quite as nice than you all be struggling with fucking stuttering vision. Do cemetery law, you'll probably need it soon. Shut up, Leppy! How dare you? Okay. The cat just got stuck behind a unit. They'll do that. I once had a cocker spaniel when I was younger. She was like the family dog, but she was technically my dog. I got her when I was like 10, and she used to love going underneath. When she was a puppy, she used to love going underneath. You know the units you have in your kitchen, like your kitchen cupboards. If you don't have your kickboards at the bottom and they're exposed, she'd basically knock the kickboards off and go underneath, and you just see these little pair of eyes just peering out at you. But occasionally she'd get a big ass stuck in there and won't be able to get out. You'd have to get her. Quite often she'd nip at you as well, which is just great. Raptor Rage, good evening mate, how's it going? How are you, buddy? I nearly played Slay the Spire for you tonight, mate. I know how much you love that game. Oh. I don't, my icon's not spinning, there we go. People who are homeless don't get any benefits from entertainment, such as the public house or fighting arenas. I don't know if this will end well. The dupes complain more vocally in this game. Only half. Good evening, mate. Nah, we'll be all right. I'm okay. I'm sure we've got this. It's very cold at the minute, which means that our temperature radius isn't quite as good. Things are going to get very cold and chilly. There is a research that we can get for that pretty soon. So we'll probably look to do that soonish. For some reason I can't click this. One of our people has become gravely ill due to frostbite. This will keep happening if we have to work in such cold. I can't help you, I'm afraid. Yeah, shit out of luck at the minute. Okay, Hunter's gear has now been researched. Our cook house isn't working at the minute. So we've got two options. We can either go for heaters that allow us to put heaters inside individual buildings. Only places of work, though, to warm them up. Okay, or we can get these steam hubs. However, we don't have the most steel at the moment, and these cost 20 steel each. So I'm tempted to get the heaters first, and then we can get these buildings up and running. So at the moment, they ain't doing shit. So what I might do as well is just turn off all the workers on here for now, so that we don't get too much frostbite. Bought it, just about to start trying a colony. Nice. Don't some buildings have manual generators in them that uses coal to produce more heat? You can get heaters. Yeah, that's what I just said, Leppy. So we've not researched them, or we're about to research them now. And when we get it, it'll give us a little icon that we can toggle on. But you'll also want the Steam coverage for like your houses and stuff as well. We've had a bastard of a day. What is it with people? Price tags for a reason. Guess what? That's how much it fucking costs. If you can't afford it, don't buy it, gimps. I'll be ran over. Fucking hell, Raptor. What's going on, mate? Jesus. What's going on? Okay, so we'll get the heaters, and then the next thing we're going to need to get is the beacon. And then we can start doing scouting missions. And scouting missions are really good. They're really handy. So as you can see, our overdrive is getting pretty fucking high now. So we're probably going to have to turn this off for a bit. Let's see if we can get a new law in. Let's get the fighting arena. I've not built the fighting arena yet. I don't know what that does. So nothing relieves tension better than watching a few rounds of an all-out slugfest. New building, fighting arena. Evening bouts will reduce discontent. You'll have to build a fighting arena. I'm fine with that. That sounds great.
Hear me.
Where will that
Law
be?
in the city.
Fighting arena. Oh my goodness. Does it need to be built near houses or something? Every night a fight will be organised here, lowering discontent. I'm assuming this needs to be capturing houses, I think. So we'll put it like there. And we'll let this cool off a little bit.